Hey, what's up, Chelle? How you doing today?
Amazing. It is raining over here in Atlanta, and I love the rain, so.
Oh yeah, rain weather's pretty good.
Hey,
It's been pretty cool over here.
I want to know, since you live in Atlanta, do you know Chris Chrisley? Have you ever met him?
Oh my God.
Chrisley.
Chris Chrisley.
I don't know this. I don't know this person.
Oh, Chrisley knows best.
That's good. You don't need to know him.
You do. Chris Chrisley's the man. He's hilarious.
What is he like? Is he a podcast?
No, he has a reality show on USA called Chrisley Knows Best.
Wait, is this the guy that like he has like a bunch of like a couple of kids and they're kind of like ritzy?
Yeah, he's what's it called? Metrosexual.
Metro.
Yeah.
Yes, he's married though, right?
Yeah, he's married. It's like you think he's gay, but he's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Got it.
Dude,
yeah,
he's hilarious.
Is he?
Yeah, he all right.
Nah.
I ain't never watched the show.
Yeah, you.
I know.
Lie.
You know what? I
You
take
a
that
fool
back.
lie.
The only time I've ever watched that show. Yeah, exactly. That's the only time I watch it because I was at your house. It's not something that I'm gonna have on my TV.
Well, guess what? Your boy had it on his.
Just like in Practical Jokers. The only time I'm gonna watch it is if I'm at your house.
That should be on everybody's TV.
Yeah, they're great, man. Come on. Come on, Banks. Go do it.
Nah.
on the sneak, Banks is like, okay, at 2:00 in the morning, I'm gonna put some Impractical Jokers on.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, Chelle, he might be watching it right now.
I mean, it's pretty much all that True TV shows. So I mean, I'm sure you can catch it.
I'm gonna be real with you. I did used to watch True TV back in the day, but it was when they had all of those reality shows like Hardcore Pawn.
Yeah, Hardcore Pawn. Man,
Hardcore Pawn.
True TV used to just be like cop shows and like people
and
hurting themselves
shows
and stuff.
Isn't that Storage Wars?
Like Lizard Lick Towing and
Lizard Lick Towing.
Yeah, bro.
Lizard Lick Towing.
Yeah.
That's not what they're called. There's no way somebody named their company Lizard Lick Towing.
No. Of course they didn't name their company. That was the name of the show. The show was called Lizard Lick Towing. I don't know what the name of the towing company was, but it was all
I think it's just Lizard Towing.
It was one show, I think it was called like Miami Towing or something like that. And the girl, she fell off.
Yeah, I remember. She was a badass.
But no, ain't no way.
She could repossess your car.
Chelle, hold on real quick. Chelle. If you were on the second floor in a parking garage and you fall off, you somehow just fall. Are you just going to get back up and then walk up to the person that pushed you off of the building and fight them?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know because like I'm a little sassy pants. So like if somebody like did that to me, I don't know if I would have the guts to actually like push them off the building, but like I'll get sassy.
You do know your new name is now Sassy Pants, right?
I mean, hey, I have the crown, so like that's good. Good match.
Again, I just want to say thank you for joining us on today's new episode.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. One of our good friends, leveling up with Benjamin Banks, Mr. Renes Rivera.
Renes? Or is it Renes Banks?
It's Renes.
Oh, okay.
I messed his name up at first.
Renes.
I say it right now. It's Renes.
I did too.
Renes?
Thank you.
There's no way
I'm
you
not
called
the
him
only
Renes.
one.
I called. Okay, you want? This is what I
Tell the story.
I added another syllable in there. I started calling him Reneus. Reneus. But not only that, like
I like it.
Listen, look, when because we like just met, and I like the next day on set, like we were like talking like in my trailer or something, and I was laughing so hard, and I said, Reneus, you're so funny, and he looked at me, he was like,
he said, it's
not my name. He said it very like calmly.
Now you know that's my stepdad.
Oh yeah.
Renes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, now I'm like super confused. What?
Nah, Renes, him and Trav's mom, they hit it off, and yeah, like this all happened last week.
This all happened last week.
Yep.
They got married and everything.
He was looking like a snack.
Shut your mouth! You're lying.
No, seriously, he was looking like a snack, and she was hungry.
Uh-huh.
Yep. They leveled up.
And they leveled up.
Yeah, they leveled up.
Real quick, back, 50 feet. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, of course.
My God.
It's just a running joke.
Excuse me, I did not get invited to the wedding. What is this mess?
If anything, he's mine. That's a swole man.
Travi and
there.
Renez.
Yeah, that's a swole man.
Yes. Oh my goodness. He's like what, like 6'5"?
He's up there.
I thought he was 6'8".
No way, he's 6'8".
That's like Yao Ming.
Yo, but that's just pretty tall, man.
Reneus.
Reneus
Rivera.
Yeah, that's what we got to call him now, Reneus.
Yeah, right.
It sounds super fancy.
I mean, pinky's up.
I can't remember. It was some radio show he was on, and like the guy called him. He messed up his whole name.
He butchered
his whole name.
But he didn't even. He let him butcher his name and just said screw it.
and then he said, he looked at the dude. He said it's Reness, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Reness." I don't know what he called him, but yeah, he butchered the whole thing. But I mean, hey,
you got Sassy Shelly.
Yeah, so you got Sassy Shelly, you got Travi. But I can't call you Travi boy.
You can call me Travi boy.
I can call you Travi boy on this episode?
Yeah.
I can bring it back?
Only. This episode only.
Okay, I'm going to call you Travi
special,
boy.
bro.
Boom.
So, Chelle, let's get into your origin story. Let's let everybody know, like,
sure,
who you were and what led you to get into acting.
Oh man. Okay. So I was a dancer first.
Nice.
I've been in dance since I was 3 years old. And I did like the tap, the hip hop, or the tap and the jazz. And then I was just got out of class. I mean, I was like maybe like 8 years old. And I peeked into this other class and I saw these people with these, it was like this loud, like thumping, like bass, like music. And I was like, what kind of dancing is that? And it was hip hop. And so I came home and I was like, Mommy and Pa, so that's what I call my parents. I said, I want to get into that kind of dancing. And so my dad started, he didn't know that I was like a taster because I was like I was a little tomboy, like growing up. And my dad, I got into the hip hop classes and I was really loving it like so much. And my dad started introducing me like to different kinds of like hip hop that besides what they offered in the dance classes. It was like ticking and popping, and my dad like grew up on that. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that movie called Break-In.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about when you started bringing it up.
Thanks. It's my favorite movie in the entire world. The acting is terrible, but like when I tell you, if y'all haven't seen this movie,
Step Up.
Step Up. Yeah, that's a good movie too.
Save the Last
Break-In.
Don't forget about
Save Last Dance is good too. Oh,
Honey.
Good. I
Jessica
love
Alba.
Honey.
Woo.
Yes. Honey was so good. Oh, I love that. But yeah, so Break-In, if y'all haven't seen it, like, again, it is not like, it is really crappy acting. But when I tell you, like, it makes,
it's the bringing on of dance movies is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Probably even way below that. It did. It got Break-In too, yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
So, yes. I still have those DVDs. It's nuts. Like, I wasn't even born in that era, but like, my dad gave them to me. Anyways.
Yeah, it's like who doesn't love the 80s?
Oh my goodness, I know.
Who doesn't love the 80s?
Golly, especially like when you're raised on it. I was born in 89, but like nice. I grew up with all of that music because, my mom and my dad, that's just the house that I lived in. So I choreographed for this like one movie when I was like in my like later whenever I actually started making a career out of it. And then I realized that like when I started doing like more research on like dancers don't really last that long, maybe like 35, 36, and then their knees go out. So I was like, okay, I still want to be in some type of performing. And so that's when I went to Orlando. I was actually on a trip. I was born and raised in Pensacola. And then I was on a trip to Orlando just on vacation. And they had these auditions for this role. It was the Egyptian mummy princess. And I was like, I'm going to go audition for this. So I like went and auditioned. And I had let me tell you, like I had no idea what I was doing. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. And I come back to Pensacola, and I was working as a dispatcher at Cox Communications. And they called me up and they said, hey, this is, so-and-so at Universal Studios, and we'd like to offer you a contract. And I was like, what? Wow. Because first of all, usually how Universal works, you go on, you don't get contracts. You just go on and you're just a sub. But they were offering me a contract. And I was like, I don't know what is going on, but I'm doing this. So put my 2 weeks in, literally a couple days later. And I just packed up all my stuff and I said, okay, I'm going to go do this Egyptian mummy princess. And and then I was doing it. It was such a fun character because she didn't really speak. You had to interact with guests without speaking. It was very odd.
Yeah.
And then I got into acting classes at a place called Art State Studios. And I was there for 3 years. And then when I moved to Atlanta, it was the same process. I was on a trip and there was this Georgia lottery commercial and I was like, I'm going to go. So I did it, came back to Orlando and they said, hey, we want you to be here in 3 days. So I was like, okay. So I did the commercial and then I came back and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And so put my 2 weeks in at Universal and then I bounced and I've been to Atlanta and then the last, I want to say 3.5 years, I've been 6 months in Atlanta and then 6 months in New York. My manager is in New York and then my agent's here in Atlanta. And it's just a really good combination. I really love the greenery and I really love Atlanta. It keeps me very grounded. But then New York has that just magic of just beautiful inner self work, and just there's just so much great magic and energy there. So I like to do both.
Now, where'd you grow up?
So Pensacola, Florida.
All right, so
do you know where that is?
Oh yeah, I mean I grew up in Key West.
Oh man,
so
very cool. Yeah.
But
yeah. Pensacola, Florida, that's where I'm from.
Got it. Pretty interesting start to your career. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it was I'm very fortunate to be in a family that is very supportive. I'm half Filipino and half German.
Right.
And my dad, he told me that he did not like me going to Orlando and doing this because in Filipino culture, you have to get all A's, you get a degree, you have a job, and that's how it is, security.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, I don't want to do that. I took a couple college classes and I was like, ooh, this is not for me.
Same for me, Jack.
Really?
Yeah.
Same,
So,
Jack.
Chelle, question.
My dad?
Yeah.
Chelle, question for you. Was your mom helping you battle basically what your dad had to say about it, or kind of let her find her own way, or?
Yeah, she was definitely like that. My mom is very much both worked for the government, and so in that era, I guess there was a lot of suppression of make sure that the baby boomer era, just make sure you have enough money for your families, and so a lot of dreams were never ever being followed. And I think my mom is just so supportive of everything I do. Anytime I have a problem, she's the first one I call up. So yeah, it was a little bit tough. And my dad is so supportive now. I talk to him 2 or 3 times a day. But I think it's once you follow that feeling inside, no matter what anybody says, you really, and then you also have gifts that happen after that. It's oh dang, maybe I should have listened to her. And I think that's how that relationship with my father, we just really started to click. Just because you can't help that feeling inside. You know what I'm saying? And you have to follow it. And no matter what anybody says. And that goes with anything. Of course, have the guidance and being open to guidance, but when it comes to that feeling, you can't shut it off. And then when you do shut it off, it's going to come up in your later years. It's not going to be quiet.
It's heartburn.
So, Chelle, are you an only child?
Us. Yep. I have a sister she has 4 beautiful children. I have Then I'm the second oldest. Then my brother Alex, he's a lyricist and he's really good with like piano. Nice. And then my brother Victor, they both live in Vegas. And then my brother Victor is a dancer. He is a dancer for the Jabberwockies in Vegas.
Oh, crap.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I just went to Vegas for my 31st birthday. It was my first time ever going there, and it was a really nice trip.
Vegas is really cool.
Okay.
Where did you stay?
Caesar's Palace.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a nice trip, man. Like me and my brother went, and we walked everywhere. And we did a lot of exploring, took a bunch of pictures, and it's definitely
you got me a shirt.
That I would like.
Hold on, let's talk about the shirt you got me.
Didn't I get you a shirt?
You got me a shirt. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, I still haven't given it to you yet.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did give it to you.
I wear it to bed.
God. Okay, thank God, man. Because I didn't know if I had gave it to you or not, bro. It's been what? I went there in January.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Wow. Was it cold when you went?
No, it was I was about to say room temperature.
And I was about to accept that.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty chill. Like there were days where it wasn't too hot, and then there were days where it wasn't too cold. But it was fun. There was a lot of crazy people in Vegas.
Oh my God, yeah.
I did meet the devil when I was there. He just came up and he just was telling everybody that he was the devil and that he came from hell and he wanted people to give him money. And
did you
I
give
gave him
money?
$1 and then I just walked away.
It is.
Yeah, I gave him $1.
So you participated in the cult.
I guess so.
All right.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, was somebody else about to say something?
No, sir, you have the floor.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got the floor, man, Captain.
And so the question that I wanted to ask was, what was the first movie that you starred in?
I would say the one that had like significant like recognition. It wasn't a very big movie, but it was I got to work with amazing legend Al Pacino. It was a movie. My God, it was so amazing. It was a movie called Hangman. And I played this like street kid, and it was so amazing because I mean, getting to work. I mean, I've had a lot of really great opportunities to work with some really cool like legends like Ray Liotta, Al Pacino, like, and those are like. I've been very fortunate with that, but with working with Al Pacino, it really psyched me out because I had this really this character where she loses her girlfriend, and I find out through an interrogation, and I had no like earthly idea that anything happened to her, and Al Pacino's character, like they were like interrogating me, and it was really crazy though on set because like a lot of people were like around him, like asking questions, and as much as like I wanted to like, you know, you have so many questions with like, you know, somebody that you admire so much, but I also had to like serve this really beautiful character, and like she like breaks down and all of that, and so I had to go like sit in the corner, but yeah, I mean that was an amazing experience. That was like one of my I want to say like the first like large thing that I really enjoyed doing, and I felt very a lot of I don't want to say like there was just a lot of importance that I needed to bring to her. So that was a really fun one. That was filmed here in Atlanta.
Now, did you get to like have an actual conversation with him offset, or not offset, but off camera? Or...
yeah, we talked a little bit. It was really interesting because do you guys know what the cry stick is, where they put it underneath your eye to make you like cry? It's called
no, I never knew that.
I just thought they were so good.
Right.
I thought, because I just thought that it's like, you know, you just cry on demand, but yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean,
some people can't imagine. But...
And that's where I kind of am. Like if the emotion is not coming from within, then I mean, it's great with the cry stick, but then it also kind of burns your eyes. So like, am I really in the scene if my eye is burning? Right. You know?
Yeah.
So, but I guess it helps like some actors. But anyways, I didn't want to use the cry stick, but the camera kept on messing up, and I was, every take that we were doing, I was able to bring the tears, and after take 7 and 8, started to get a little bit dry, and so Al changed up and did some cool thing and put in different pictures, and he slid them to me, and it was just that really cool connection with there was no conversation right then and there. Right. Was just I know that you need this just underlining actor to actor, and I thought that was a really just beautiful, brilliant thing, and that's probably why he's so amazing, because it came from an organic place, not from hey, we're gonna do this, that's had this game plan, which that works as well. I've had other series regulars and people do that with me as well, but I don't know, there's something about that old school mentality of and expecting it, and so it just brought up this really incredible emotion, and I have to thank him for that.
Yeah, he has a ton of experience.
I just looked Hangman up. Oh, go ahead, D.
No, I was just gonna say, Al Pacino, he's a legend, like you said, yeah. Go ahead, Trav.
No, I was gonna say, what's it called? I'm sure you watched The Irishman on Netflix. Have you seen it yet? I saw the behind the scenes where they sit down with Scorsese and Pacino and De Niro and Pesci and just talk, and you could just tell all 4 of them are just so good at what they do.
And they've been doing it for so long.
And they've been just doing it for so they know all the tricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's experience.
That's what the difference is. What I feel is there's just such a knowing. It's one thing to I feel that we're in this day and age where it's kind of oh, if I'm on TV, if I have this certain persona that I act, then I'm accepted by the audience. But it's right. With them, it's there's just this knowing, and it just comes so raw and organic on screen, and that's why they're just so wonderful to watch.
Yeah, I had looked up Hangman, and I saw that Carl Urban and Brittany Snow was in that as well.
Yeah.
Carl Urban, he's been in the game for a hot minute as well. I know he was in the Judge Dredd movie, and he was recently in this new show on Amazon. Is it The Boys?
The Boys, yeah.
The superhero show? Yeah, he's...
Yeah.
I feel like he's an underrated actor. That's just my opinion. I mean, he's been around.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah, who were some of the actors you look up to?
It's so funny. I didn't grow up watching a lot of movies. I would want to say or maybe in my late teens, early 20s. That's when I really started getting in the game of wow, I really like this person.
Right.
There's this really have you guys ever seen that movie called Orphan Black? Not Orange is the New Black, but it's called Orphan Black.
Orphan Black? No, I've seen the
Yeah, I know the show.
Yeah, her name is Tatiana Maslany. She's an amazing actor, and I whenever I just unique kind of TV shows. But her name's Tatiana Maslany, and she plays a clone of 12 different kinds of clones. And then I saw her process, because she plays each one of them. And so when I saw that, I was holy cow. So she's definitely a huge one. I love her. I just got through watching a series called Little Fires Everywhere.
Dude, you guys hear about that one? Yeah, everybody's talking about that show right now.
Yo, it is so good.
It has what's her name in it from Scandal, right?
Kerry Washington.
Yeah, Kerry Washington. Yeah.
Yeah,
because everybody's posting those pictures of this is Kerry Washington, and her facial reactions and whatnot.
Well, she's great anyways.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, there's just and I mean, I love Ricky Gervais. I love him too.
Hold on, is that how you say his last name?
Hold on, I thought it was Ricky. Huh?
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Is that how you say it, Gervaisi?
I thought it was Gervais.
Gervais. I mean, I that's what I thought. That's what I've always. heard.
Well, well, you call him Reneus, so I guess that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
Yo, she gonna get sassy on you, bro. You better watch it.
You know.
Easy
Oh my
now,
God.
easy.
But who doesn't love him though? He's the reason why we have the office, you know?
Oh my God, I know. It's just and you know what it is? I think it's like, of course, like, I guess I just look at actors as like, we're all this, toolbox, and we have all these like different crafts. And I think more so what I think about, like Django, I forget, Jamie Foxx was like amazing in that.
Right, yeah.
So I think about like the characters that these amazing actors like bring. And then there's so many underrated actors too. Like Tatiana Maslany too.
I always say Will Smith is like the biggest underrated star.
He really is. Like, he's amazing.
How many times has Will Smith made you cry watching a movie?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? He continues to get stunned. He's given us so many like gems. Like he can literally do it all.
He really can.
Another one. Because last week, John Leguizamo, he was trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's like, I always felt that he was an underrated actor. Like, he's amazing.
I was just about
Who is this again?
John Leguizamo. He was Luigi Mario in the Super Mario Brothers.
That's a horrible example. Thank you. Don't bring up the Mario Brothers as the example.
I don't know what his name was in
Benny Blanco.
Yeah, he was Benny Blanco in Carlito's Way.
He was way with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Got it.
But he's
great.
He was in Tu Wong Fu with Wesley Snipes and Patrick Swayze.
It's such a good movie.
Man.
Such a good movie.
There you go, Banks. Get it back on the track.
I just can't believe your example was the Super Mario Brothers movie to describe this man. You had one movie to pick out to describe his career, and it was Super Mario Brothers.
I could have said Kick. He was in Kick-Ass.
But no, he's got so many amazing roles, and you picked one of the worst movies of all time.
I loved him in Super Mario Brothers.
I wonder why he's underrated.
Exactly, and that's why he's underrated, I guess, because people like you over here, hey, check out Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man.
That's Benny Blanco from the block, man.
So, Chelle, question. Yeah. So, with doing, you were on a couple of shows that I actually personally watched, which was Cloak and Dagger and then The Gifted. What led you to those roles? Do you have like a personal thing? Do you like comic characters or things of that nature, fantasy at all? Or was it just something that you wanted to try?
It's so funny. I'm not the biggest comic book person. Like I mean, no offense to anybody that's comic book, apologies, but it's just not something I really like grew up with. But the one character, I didn't have a very big role in Cloak and Dagger. It was, I believe it was like the first episode. And it was so crazy
first, second episode.
First or second episode. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of crazy because I was in New York shooting Shades of Blue. And then they wanted me on like a callback for that, or like this, like I had to do it like on a taped thing, which is that's a whole nother ordeal. It was kind of crazy. And then when I got it, like, that character was not like anything like following like an actual comic book. It was more of like this like guest star character that kind of like is a barrier for Olivia to kind of get around. So that character wasn't like, but it was I know it was a comic book show. That one's what is it on its like third season now?
Nah, unfortunately it got canceled. It
got canceled.
2 seasons.
Yeah. Same thing.
It was a good show.
Yeah, it really was.
I think
it really was.
Network, guys, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was the network. I know it got canceled.
We talking about Cloak and Dagger?
Cloak and Dagger.
The problem with the problem with Cloak and Dagger is it's not a big enough series to stand on its own as far as the characters and their popularity in the comic book world.
Well, Cloak and Dagger, they're pretty popular comic-wise, but I think that's why I go back to the network. There's nothing else like it on that network, so it is by itself. If it was
on Freeform,
something
right?
else,
it was on Freeform.
Yeah,
but it's the same issue with like what we were talking about last week with like Constantine being on NBC and Supergirl being on CBS. Like those aren't your networks that you will put your superhero shows on. You know, the networks that had the superhero shows are Fox and the CW, especially the CW.
Yep. I think Fox might have been a way better fit, but you know, that's me.
The Gifted was on Fox, right?
Yeah, The Gifted was on Fox. The
Yes.
Gifted had 2 seasons, I believe. Yeah, 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then it got canceled, unfortunately, and it ended on a cliffhanger.
Yep.
Well,
Your favorite.
That's usually what happens when they get canceled.
Right.
They end on cliffhangers.
Exactly.
Yeah, how was it working on The Gifted? Because you were up there on quite a few episodes.
Yeah, that was a wonderful like series. And that was like, I want to say that is my first like fictional character. And I've never really like, you know, delved into like I don't even really watch a whole lot of like hardcore like fiction. I mean, you know, like Walking Dead and like, you know, that type of stuff. But when it comes to like superpowers, that was the first one. And I was like, oh, wow, I really love this. Because then there's just so much you can play with because it is in this like fantasy world that there's no barriers. There's no, you know, you're not caged in to be like this like human being only. Like you have, you know, superpowers. And mine was like teleporting. And it was so fun because Tyshawn and Reness, like, we were on all the episodes, like the episodes that I had 6 of them. We were all together, and it was so great. I mean, it's good whenever you can work with like really great people with like there ain't no ego, like there's nothing. It's just like, hey, like we're just here to have a good time and co-create.
Yeah, I wish we could get that for going for this podcast, but unfortunately, a guy that names the podcast after himself. You know what I mean? What do you expect?
I mean, hey, look. I mean, people know who I am. I mean, like,
and I just work here, so.
I'm the wrestler. Like, people, they know who Benjamin Banks is. Like, I mean, if you want to be my tag team partner, I mean, you can, Trav or Travie boy.
That's right.
You can be my tag partner. We can tag in the ring and whatnot. Or hey, you could be my manager.
I can do that.
Yeah, you can stand at ringside, or you know, you could be on the megaphone like you're Jimmy Hart, or you could come out with like a foam pinky on and be like Paul Bearer or something like that. I mean,
man,
the floor is open, bro. Like, what more do you want?
Chelle, back to the question game. First off, pretty sick powers on The Gifted, and
thanks.
Now that you've done a real, like you said, that was your first touch of fantasy game. I mean, sorry, my dog jumped. He was jumping on me. Your fantasy character, is it something that you would want to do again after playing it, since you said you enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I just had this audition for, it was another like alien kind of character. And it's just so fun. Like I think what it is that you can, depending on the content, of course, but like you can put more of like this like character on it. So yeah, I would absolutely like love to do it. And I think it's more of like, I like that sci-fi type stuff. I've realized that I like very much I'm starting to very much get into that. Of course, like, you know, I love my, you know, human type shows, I guess you would call them, but like I also really like to dive into stuff that's just a little bit more off the wall,
further out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was just about to ask a similar question that Dee just asked. If there were any other superhero shows or movies would you like to work on? But yeah, Dee, he pretty much just asked that question.
D.
I know earlier I had brought up Tu Wong Fu, and I had brought up Wesley Snipes, and I saw that you had started a movie with him. Armed Response.
Yeah. That was a while ago. I was more supporting. I don't want to say that I started it with him. I was more supporting. But that was a very, very fun show too. That was more like horror. I want to say, but yeah, he was great. I didn't have a whole lot of scenes with him, but he was great. He's amazing skin.
Did he give you like tax advice or anything?
Oh, easy.
I
Easy,
know he
Travis.
wouldn't be the one to get my advice from.
Come on, bro. We all know Wesley Snipes is that man.
Did you get to talk
I'm
with him at
just
all?
kidding.
Oh, yeah.
call him
We had a
Passenger
few scenes
57.
together.
Like, was there any advice that he gave you, like, off camera?
I want to say, like, he kind of, like, kept more to himself.
So it's kind of like what they were saying, like, when, was it Blade 3 or Blade Trinity? Where it's like, they just said, like, he just kept to himself and he only said a few words, but that was it.
What are you talking about, bro?
Bro,
Yeah.
remember that's what Ryan Reynolds said about Wesley Snipes and Blade.
Oh, did he in Blade Trinity?
On set.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see that.
Oh, got it. We didn't really like talk like again, my scenes weren't when I had my scenes with him, they were only like a couple of lines and then it went off into like my character like, you know, being drowned. But like when it was like with Carl Urban and Al Pacino, like there was so much substance there. So like I feel like it depends on how much substance you have like with your other co-stars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it's just gonna and it could be it's totally different like with every single person. Like some people they love to talk and then some people they're just not like big like talkers and I have to say like for myself it depends on like the content. If you have like a you know light day or you know you have a couple of scenes that are more comedic then you know you want to have that energy and you want to have like that connection like with you know human beings. But then you know, if I had a couple characters where I was a rape victim and that's when I'm like, no, can't talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it depends.
Yeah, I saw that scene. It was from the show Valor.
Oh yeah, that was so fun. Yeah.
So how, like explain like what goes through your mind like when you have to do scenes like that? Like to prepare yourself and whatnot.
Right. So fortunately, I've never been a victim of any of that sexual harassment or anything like that. But I'm very empathic. So what my process is when I have to go really deep into a character, I listen to a lot of interviews on rape victims. That's where my go-to is. And I talk with people as well. I went on a ride along one time with a cop because I wanted to see what it was to actually like, you know, see a dead body. I mean, you know, you go to certain degrees, like in order to really pay homage to certain characters. Like even if it's not an actual like real character that something's based off, there are people out there that are living in these forms of characters, you know? So for me, that's what I do and that's, again, like there's just so much out there that you don't even like realize. I worked on my first guest star. Wow, this is so funny. My first guest star, I worked on a show called Graceland and I was a meth addict. And I don't know what it is. Ever since I was like 13 years old, I've always been really infatuated with people that like are on drugs or people that are like in this like
that's
type
your type
of like mentality.
What you're saying, that's your type. That's the kind of guy you go for.
You know, honestly, right. I don't even know if that's really my type though. Like, are you talking about type like as in like dating wise? You're talking about, like,
romantic. Yeah, you're looking for yeah.
Oh, man.
Hold on, Rondale.
Hey, want to grab a pipe sometime?
You know?
Yeah, no.
But yeah, like I've just been infatuated with like, I don't know, maybe it has a lot to do with like mental health, like how a person has to reach for, you know, meth or alcohol or something to mask the pain instead of it's so interesting to me. I don't know what it is. It's just very interesting to me.
Yeah,
so
because I've never been interested in it, you know what I mean? So I get what you're saying. Like if you've I've never had any thoughts of, man, that looks real fun or anything like that. So for some people to be like, that's something I would try, you know, it's askew.
Right. But it's crazy though too, because like, you know, this kind of like world we live in and we're in this like where if you talk vulnerable or if you say anything that's weak, like you're totally like deemed upon. So like, I mean, just how the human body is like chemically like made up, like we're supposed to be, you know, talking and emoting. But then like, since we live in a society where we can't, like we need something to ease that pain. So they reach for that. So honestly, it's not a bad, if you think about it, that person is only trying to emote, and how they do it is through drugs. So I mean, that's a whole nother like story. So that's where I really get my my thought process is. I'm a lot of stuff on YouTube, a lot of interviews. Just because I grew up fortunately, I've been very fortunate to have a wonderful, supportive household. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if I want to be an actor, but I've had like really bad things happen to me, I've got to go looking for it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you got to go deep. Yeah, it's like you got to do
That's
your
what she
research,
said.
do your homework.
Hey.
Bro, it's like I've been waiting to say that's what she said this entire episode, but I just haven't had a moment to say it.
Yeah. Well, your boy
reach to
got
it.
it.
So, Chelle, real quick before we move on, so is it more about you thinking about like when you see people that have these substance abuse things of that nature? Is it more about? Does it just open you up to thinking how they got to the point where they're at?
I think yeah, go ahead.
No, does it? Go ahead. You got the floor.
I think it's we said, like, if I wasn't an actor, I'd be somewhere in psychology, because I just think that humans are just such a cool, just the way we all think. And I think it has more to do with the helper in me, where I want to fix it. So if I see this problem that's going on in this character, and if I'm able to jump in and really dig deep, maybe there's some way for me to find a way for them to be fully fleshed out in some weird way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has it more. It's more so for that, because I mean, I don't take that kind of stuff like lightly. I really, and because I've never really been around like drug abuse, it's more of like this curiosity, like how can I get this person out of that mindset? So, and I guess like for me, it's like, you know, that's the vessel of being an actor, is having that, because there's that, just because that character is written, there's so many other people that are watching the show that I'm on that like, okay, if I'm able to bring this character fully fleshed out, maybe I could possibly help the person that is watching the show or watching the movie turn their life around in some kind of way.
Yeah, because it's always one of those things where it's like you totally never know who you might be helping, whether it's something that they're seeing you do on TV, or maybe you just putting up a post on Instagram or Facebook, and it's just crazy. It's crazy how it is, because it's like you never know what somebody's going through, and you never know how you're helping that person just by posting a picture and putting a couple of words, you know?
Right, of course. And I think what another like really incredible thing too is like, you know, as actors and, you know, anybody that's really an artist, like, again, like going back to like, you know, holding those emotions in through art, through rapping, through acting, through dancing, all of those are a way of like being emotive. And you know, when people are watching TV, like they're getting in touch, they are closer to you than they are with their wife, their husband, their mother, their father. And I think that connection with people that I don't even know, and they're giving me their open, vulnerable heart, although I don't know them, they just are watching the show that I'm on. Like, that is such an incredible platform to be on that I will never, ever take for granted. And I think that's like a big, like what drives me and keeps me going, like with the whole career. Cause I mean, it's hard, you know, you get a lot of rejection, but I think that's the driving force. Yeah.
It's like just because one person says no, that doesn't mean that you should stop, because there's always going to be another door of opportunity for you to go through.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also, I mean, I would leave auditions like just crying, just because like, you know, you're putting yourself out there, but then you think about it and it's like, well, what am I actually doing this for? You know, it's not for the recognition or the hand clap or good girl or, you know, even an Oscar. Of course, all those things are amazing, but what are you actually doing it for? You know?
And what are you doing it for?
I think there's a responsibility. I feel like responsibility might be too strong, but as humanity, we are starting to dissipate and with connection. And I think I do feel this incredible, I'm just going to say responsibility to keep that connected, because, you know, we can change technology. We can change the way we just everything that is man-made, we can change, but the human body that will never change. The chemical makeup, that's just, you know, how we are created as human beings, that will never change. And as technology moves on, as everything moves on, we can't forget about like who we are actually. And I think that I have a responsibility to like keep that going, like for us to all still like be connected, you know?
I like that.
Pretty deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really deep.
You hear that, kids? You hear that?
Yeah, it's like I like when I ask you the question.
It's your time. Say it.
Yeah.
It's like I like when I ask you the question and you just like, okay, it's time to get real. It's time to pull up the sack.
She leveled it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she leveled up.
Oh,
Leveled
yeah. I mean, that's
So,
really in any career. I feel like, you know, like what that's like, you know, an accountant, that's a banker, that's, you know, anything. Why are you actually doing it? You know, of course, you know, to make money, you know, that's a you have to live, but you know, there's a driving force. And I think if we all like really like, we're like, what am I actually doing this job for? Whatever it is, that I think we would be changing a lot of different avenues of, okay, wow, I don't want to be a banker anymore. I want to be doing this instead. But we don't live in that life right now. I think it's changing, but I don't think we live in a energy like that as of right now. But we're working on it.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, is that every time like something catastrophic happens, the world changes. You know, right now we're going through this COVID thing, and you got all this stuff about, you know, Universal getting in a war of words with AMC, and AMC saying they're not going to put their movies in theaters, and them saying video on demand's the way to go, and people are probably going to be working from home more than what they would be if this didn't happen, this COVID stuff. So you never know like when things are going to change and what's going to make life change and how we do life now.
Yeah. And it's so like crazy to think, like, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. And, you know, I don't know what that reason is. And I don't think any of us, like, it's as everything is still like unraveling. But I do think there's pros and cons to everything, you know, and this could be like a really, I mean, I'm getting to take some acting classes that are online with amazing people that I wouldn't have been able to take with just because they don't live close to me, you know? So, I mean, I feel like there's benefits but there's also, you know, some scary things too.
Right.
I feel like that'll open up more doors for you too.
Definitely. Yeah.
So another show that I had wanted to bring up that you had worked on was Saints and Sinners.
Goodness, yes. That was my first, like, I want to say like job. You know, I did like co-stars in a couple like small roles before, but George Pierre was a casting director for that. So yeah, I was on there for 2 seasons.
How was it working up there?
You said up there? It was filmed in Atlanta. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, like you know, like how was it working on, you know, on set, on the show and whatnot?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I get a lot of like, you know, tough girl hard roles. So that one was like my first like larger like role. So there was, and then there, you know, working with like Vanessa and like Christian, like they're like, you know, some hot shots. So I was like, okay, I definitely need to like bring my, you know, professionalism, my A game. And I was very like nervous, like on set. And there's this amazing man. His name is Afemo. He played like my co-star. We were the partners as cops. And he's such an old like soul and just so like, there's something just so comforting about him. And so, you know, I would be like, you know, am I doing this right? You know, he's like, yeah, you're doing it right. Just like, you know, everything's good and just believe in yourself. And I was very fortunate to have him on there because it's scary, you know, your first like big thing, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing this. Oh,
yeah.
That was a really fun show. Everybody was really chill and welcoming on that show.
And supportive and just wanting everybody to. Yeah.
Yeah, those things are
like
key.
How you said, oh, go ahead.
Totally.
No, go. I'm sorry. You
I
got
was
the
just
floor.
gonna say,
man.
it's just like how you were talking about with The Gifted earlier, where it's like, everybody's just there to, have fun, have a good time, and just make sure that everybody does the best that they can do.
Yeah. And to be supportive of like, sometimes you get on TV shows and people will be so egotistical and, taking a lot of things personally. But if we're all here, and this doesn't just go for the actor, this is the director, this is the PAs, this is the producer, this is everybody. If we're all here serving the story, and the story is what we're actually wanting to come together and serve, then there's no room for ego. You know what I'm saying there's no room for that, like, at all. And fortunately, I've been very blessed to like not really have anything that was really deep into egotistical stuff. But yeah, Saints and Sinners was great. Like, it was very family-like on that show.
Yeah, because you've been in quite a number of shows for, you don't have a lot of like quote-unquote one-and-dones. Like you'll be on the series for X amount of episodes. But what was it like working on The Purge? Because personally, I think The Purge is a better TV show than a movie series.
I agree with you on that. Well,
did you guys see the second season?
Okay, so this is my thing. I watched the first season of The Purge, and I have the season 2 on my DVR. And because I saw that you were up there, I watched the first 2 episodes, and I saw that you were up there, and it was cool.
Yep. No doubt.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna be shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to who?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out
her.
to who?
Oh, okay.
Our cats. Are y'all serious right now? You got sleeping?
It's sassy. Sassy pants.
Yeah, sassy.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody shout out somebody who's already in the conversation though.
But
like usually a shout out is reserved for. Usually a shout out is reserved for people who are like, "Hey man, you want to shout out your homies at home? Yeah, shout out to Rondell." I've never seen somebody be like,
shout
out to you." Like,
now, are you talking about the TV show you, or are you talking about something else?
nah, we're talking about something else.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
Yeah, but go ahead, Chelle. You got.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah. No. My God, are you kidding? Yeah, and for season 2, I've heard that like season 1, I didn't watch season 1. I saw like a couple of, like a couple episodes just to prepare for the audition. But like for season 2, like they hired on a whole new like line of like producers and everybody, like because they wanted to go a whole different direction. Because they said like season 1 was very like prim and proper, very perfect, and then season 2 was like gritty as hell. So I mean, just it was a lot of different like camera angles and steady cam, and that was a very, very fun show. It's so funny. I work with a lot of I was the one chick and just a bunch of guys within the group, and then the same thing happened in The Gifted. And then the same thing happened in Hangman. It's funny, which is cool. Like I'm, again, like I like grew up as a tomboy, but it was that show was so much fun. I got to stay in New Orleans for like 3 months. But it was crazy because I booked that show, and then I also booked Outer Banks at the same time. And Outer Banks was just supposed to be like, I think like an episode or 2, and then they added more episodes. So trying to like coordinate that, my agent, he was just like, listen, I'm just going to give the 2 productions their numbers and they can like talk it out, because I was literally like going back and forth between South Carolina and New Orleans. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I was going to say about The Purge, like how you were talking about the first season where it just felt perfect. It's like on the first season, I felt like they tried to make it similar to the movies, where it's like when you watch the movie, it just goes straight to The Purge. Whereas in this, from the episodes that I watched, it's like The Purge is on the first episode, and then on the second episode, it's building up to next year's Purge. So I'm liking that so far.
Yeah.
Explaining like, what the characters are going through and whatnot, because, spoiler alert, with your character, your crew, it's like they robbed the bank, and the one guy, he was still inside the bank when the alarms were going off.
Bro, you gonna say spoiler alert?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I said a spoiler alert.
You did not.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah,
Man,
you need to get off your phone, bro.
I ain't on the phone.
He's
Come on,
sleeping.
Travi boy. But I've only seen the first 2 episodes, so I'm looking forward to finishing the series. But I mean, season 1 was really good, and from the 2 episodes that I've seen, like just from the jump, like it looks like season 2 is going to be another banger.
They got a lot more recognition. They just hired on a whole new production like team for it. So I mean, it was a lot of fun too. Like it was a lot of moving parts. Just because like, different directors and all of that. So, and then there's 4 different storylines going on. I've never worked on a show that was, and I was like, dang, like when I first got the audition, I was like, wow, there's 4 different storylines. Is this going to be, cause I'm not a huge fan when it comes to like so many things going on. I think that's why I like watching old movies. It's because like, it's this one thing that they're going after, but like 4 different storylines. They did a terrific job of like keeping everybody interested and, it was good. It was really, really fun. Yeah,
they did the same thing in the first season too. I think it was like 3 or 4 storylines. So I feel like, with you having that many storylines going on one show, it always gives you something to look at, and then you can always go back to the other character because it's something fresh now that you're looking at this character. So it's cool when some shows do stuff like that. I mean, I know sometimes it can be overbearing, and sometimes it can feel like too much, especially if they don't know what direction that they're trying to go in with the show. But I mean, like I said, with the Purge season 1, it's like they did a really good job. And right now with season 2, what I'm watching and all the storylines that are going on, like I understand what's going on and I'm enjoying it. So hey, if you can't follow it,
but what has to do with like good writing too,
Exactly. It has to have good writing, and I mean, like they got good writing right now. I mean, with what I'm watching, and then the cast up there too is phenomenal as well. Like so.
It was a fun one. It was hot.
Did you ever?
Ooh, it was hot. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch any of the Purge movies?
Well, I mean, it's been a long time. I watched them when they like first came out. But when I got that audition, it was 15 pages long and they wanted it the next day. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, well, this is what I'm going to do. And I like broke all the rules and like, but it's like just like where like I saw like the character. And then a couple days later, there's this part, do you remember, since you watched it, do you remember that part? You watched the first episode, you said, right?
Yep.
Do you remember that part where I was like working like with the lock?
Yeah, you were trying to open up the safe.
I was trying to open up the to get in through the door. Yeah, it was like the lock to get through the door.
Yeah.
And so what they had that scene for the audition, and what I did was I was like, you know what I think would be really cool? If like I used like pliers and I was using the camera as the lock. So I looked directly in the camera and I was like picking it. So it was like, I mean, you have to think about those types of things like whenever you're an actor too, because like it's not just about the acting, it's also about the camera angles too. Because you're really trying to draw on the audience, i.e. the casting director. And so yeah, when I broke that rule, I was like, I'm not getting this. And then I got it, so.
Look at that.
Good. I mean, like you said, you had
quick improvise.
Right.
You said what, D?
Oh, I was saying that was a great improvise. Thanks. Did you have some other questions, or
I have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you have something, you can go ahead.
Okay, well, you follow me up. You got me? You got my 6?
Right, I got you.
Follow behind him.
Okay.
I got you.
So, Sassy Pants, have you ever been close to filming outside of the country, or have you actually filmed outside of the country?
I was very close to filming. I didn't get this show. I had a callback for it. I'm trying to remember what it is. What is the daggone thing called? Anyways, it was a movie that was being filmed, I believe, in like India or something like that.
Where?
India.
Oh, I heard India. Yeah.
I know.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. And I ended up not getting it. But it was I think it was based off of a comic book series too. It was about like nuns. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
Warrior Nun. Warrior
I was thinking
Nun.
about Preacher.
Warrior Nun.
It's called Nun. Anyways, I believe it was gonna be
I'm gonna
filmed
check
in, like,
into that.
India. Yeah, Warrior
Warrior.
Nun. That's what yeah. And I was for this. I auditioned for the girl like Lilith, but I think it was. I want to say it was in India.
Mhm.
I can't remember though.
Okay, that's
sorry.
cool though. No,
Yeah.
no worries. No worries. Banks, you're up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the Outer Banks show because I saw that was the most recent thing that you did. Did you mind explaining what the Outer Banks show is about? Because I mean, like, that's right near us. We're all from Virginia, so
How nice. Y'all live in Virginia right now?
yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't know if, when you said you're from there, I didn't know if you like live there currently.
Yeah, we all live in the same house under one roof.
Oh my God, I love
Wow.
that.
Yeah, we're all actually
Oh.
three-way marriage.
Yep.
And Reneus is he's our father-in-law. He's Travi boy up there.
You ever seen an old movie called 3 Men and a Baby?
Yeah, three
Well,
men
yeah.
and a baby.
3 Men and a Brunette.
Reneus.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Hey, at the end of each episode, like, do we all go sit on Reneus's lap while he's sitting in the recliner?
Of course,
Hey, like,
he's so
tell us what the
big, he
boys
can
did
fit all
today.
three of us on his lap. So why wouldn't he?
That's right.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Yeah, for Outer Banks, that was a funny one. That again, like that one was a very, very small audition, and it was one of those things where I was just like, I'm gonna throw a country accent on it, and I did, and they loved it, and then and it's always so funny, like these things that you just like think of off the cusp of your head, and then it turns into something much more greater, which I'm super fortunate about. But it was, that was a really fun one too. I mean, Jonas and Josh Pate, who are the producers and the ones that put it on, like they're amazing, and it's always great. Like I said, whenever you have somebody that makes you feel inclusive, because I wasn't one of the stars or anything. It was based off of the 4 kids and then a couple of the parents. I was just one of the police officers, and that was such a fun show. I mean, like the guys, like they like Chase and Rudy, like they would just come and talk with me just on the side, and we would just like have conversations. And that's the first time that I ever filmed in the Carolinas. So there was a lot of what is it called, marshes? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Marshes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see a lot of deer too.
See a lot of deer. We hung out a lot because it was like filmed like predominantly like a lot of like water stuff. So we were in the marshes a lot, but like we would be out there for like 14 hours a day, and they would have like a little like boat with like bathrooms on it, because it took like, I want to say like 20-30 minutes to go from land to set, because we were out actually filming inside of like the marshes. So that was really interesting. That's something I've never really done before. So yeah, I mean, it was great. Unfortunately, there was a couple of scenes that I wasn't able to be a part of because Purge already had me. And there was another guy that actually took my spot. But I mean, that was a really wonderful show too. I think it was like one of their more larger, like Josh and Jonas Pate and Shannon. I think that was one of their more larger projects. So I'm really happy it's doing well.
Yeah, I mean, they had that Netflix backing, so.
Oh my God, yeah. And I think they're already like they already got go for like, to put out some scripts for season 2. So that's amazing.
Nice, because I saw that it just came out on Netflix this month, so it's definitely something I'm going to check out, especially with it being in the Outer Banks and whatnot.
It's right there. But I think like Outer Banks, trying to think, because is it Outer Banks, North Carolina?
Yeah,
it's like North Carolina, Virginia.
Got it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you might be thinking of Myrtle Beach. That's like South Carolina.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, got it.
So what's next for you? Can you tell us what other projects that you have coming up that you're working on?
Oh, actually, it's been so slow that like nobody even knows like anything that's. I mean, I don't have anything lined up as of right now. So, when I have downtime, what I do is I take, old scripts, and this is like old scripts from like the 70s, 80s, and I read them through scene by scene, and I watch them. I watch the movie and see what the actor like does like with it. Because it's always interesting, watching people on TV, and it's like, oh man, what did they actually do? Like, what was going on in their mind when they were, breaking down the script and the character. So on my downtime, that's what I do, because I just don't have anything lined up as of now, right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Did y'all have any other questions?
Yeah, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on Tiger King.
Oh my God.
Listen, I tried to watch
Thank you.
2 episodes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the most overrated show on social media I've ever seen in my life.
I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, you're probably right. You know why, Banks? Nobody needs to watch it.
It's not a good show. Well, it's not
it's like that movie.
Well, it's not a show. It's a
about,
documentary.
Bird Box.
But no, because it's a documentary, so it's not even a show. The way people talk about it, they make it seem like it's a show.
Yeah, but remember how like people were overhyping Bird Box, and
Right.
like it was just an okay movie. It wasn't something to write home about, but like everybody's overhyping.
Bird Box was a
Tiger
good
King.
movie.
No, it wasn't.
I
It was
liked
okay. It was okay.
It didn't
It
suck.
was good, not great. It was good,
It was good,
not great.
but Tiger
I just didn't
King
like
is
that.
on another level. I don't understand the appeal. I don't know why people are rooting for this man. You know what I mean? I don't know why he's liked so much.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
sure
guessing-
either, because like I watched it and I was like, what? Like I'm like, okay, is something wrong with me? Because like I'm not digging this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what it is because everybody's just stuck inside right now, and there's nothing better to do than to either watch Netflix or play games, and this is the big thing. I guess it's just because of the characters on the show that people are drawn to.
I mean, they're wild characters, that's for sure.
Right, definitely. Well, it's interesting though, because like what you said, Travi, about like, so funny. I keep I'm getting like the go ahead to call you Travi.
And you said it nonchalantly too, like it was just in casual conversation.
Right. Like I really enjoy like really well thought out like documentaries. Like there was, have you guys ever seen When They See Us or the Central Park 5?
No.
No, I have it on my list on Netflix. I do need to watch it.
Watch it right now. I'm telling you, it is so good.
That's sassy.
Although,
Okay.
like,
well,
here
that's why
she
she's sassy,
comes.
Pam.
Listen, it is so good. Like, although I love those type of shows that have something to do with like redemption or like anything that like somebody has been in jail for a long time that wasn't supposed to be in there. I'm very
Well,
much
what's the
for
show
that.
that 50 Cent's doing on ABC?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like the guy who's
It's the guy who
locked up
went
and
to
he's a
prison
lawyer.
for. You're right. Yeah. He becomes a lawyer in prison, and then he eventually.
I'm mad. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called. I'll look it
I
up.
can't remember either. I think you said it's on ABC.
It's on ABC.
Yep.
Yeah.
It comes on after Blackish.
Yeah. It's produced by 50 Cent.
Yes, I remember what it's.
It's not Power.
Yeah, it's not Power.
Which
We know this.
Power's really Power. I liked.
Power's really
Power.
good, and I think just Power has the problem that all big shows have is you're never going to get
It's
an
not
ending.
Empire.
No,
It's
yeah,
not
it's just
Empire.
a constant.
Okay. You're just never going to get a good ending. I mean, it just is what it is.
Well, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you, the season finale of Empire was last week, and it did not feel like it was a season finale at all. Like series finale, it did not feel like that. It felt like it was just a regular episode.
Again, because the show's so big, you can't end big shows. Like The Sopranos can't end. Had a trash ending. Game of Thrones had a trash ending. You
I hope
can't
Supernatural
end.
doesn't have a trash ending.
It's going to, because you can't
No,
end
I
big
hope
shows because you just can't please this many people. How do you end something?
That's
First
what
off,
she said.
how do you end something?
Yeah.
You can't.
You just.
It's so hard. That's what she said.
With the cliffhanger. Throw a cliffhanger in there, man. Hold it.
Yeah.
Are you still looking up the show?
Yeah, I just typed in 50 Cent shows and like.
You can't
the
just
only
type in
thing that
50 Cent show.
Oh, it's
it was a
called
bunch of
For Life.
documentaries.
What? For life.
For
there we
Life?
go. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, she
On,
found it
is
in
it
2
on
seconds.
right now?
Yeah, it's been on.
Huh?
Oh shoot!
I think it's about to.
It's about
end
the
now.
first season's about to be over. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had 10 episodes.
See, I didn't even know about this show. A prisoner becomes a lawyer and fights to overturn his. Oh my god, that's my.
Oh, it's so
stuff.
good. And the guy
And I
that
think-
stars in it, his name's like Nicholas Pinnock. Dude, he is amazing.
Is he?
Oh my god, he's such a good actor.
Okay. Definitely probably gonna watch it
Hey.
today. I'm watching Unorthodox right now. That's what I was doing right before we got on the call. But
I heard
that's really good too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
heard that's really good.
Only a 4-part
after-
miniseries.
Yeah, I need to finish the Flash.
Oh man, you know what I was gonna bring up before we end up wrapping this thing up is how you played we talked about the Purge that was on FX.
It was on USA.
It was on USA. Why did I think it was on FX?
You probably thinking about the Purge movie
Gifted.
that was on FX.
Oh yeah, that too.
Okay, but yeah, well then I guess just void what I was about to say, because I was just about to say it seems like FX can't make a bad show. Like every show that they
for
make
sure.
is golden, but
It really is.
that's
Like
an
the,
irrelevant comment since it wasn't on FX.
Like Days, and then you got Atlanta and
Oh, dude,
all
Always
the-
Sunny.
Yeah.
Always Sunny.
I mean, that
And
could
then
still be
even-
true.
Even the shows that end like what was the show? I can't even think about it. But you know what I'm talking
No, we know what you're talking about, bro. We
about. Yeah,
know.
you know what I'm talking about.
We know.
We got you.
So yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up.
So that's
Shell,
what she
thank
said.
you for
Cool.
joining us. Thank you for joining us. It was real fun having you up here, man.
That's right. You got real sense.
Oh man, it was
man.
so fun. You know, just if you ever need some pants of sass, here I am.
You almost yelled at Rebellious over here, and that was awesome.
Whoa, easy now.
My bad.
Take it easy.
He gave,
Hey, no,
he
no,
gave
you're
a nice
fine.
little shout out.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to the guest, Sassy Pant, or the
No.
Pants of Sass. There you go.
I love it.
Sassy Shell,
No,
leave your body in a well. What's up?
Oh shoot.
Uh-oh. Easy.
Easy,
Don't hurdle.
Ciao.
Hurdle.
No, this was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is so great.
Yeah, welcome. Before we let you go, please let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Yes. So on Instagram, I am Chelle Ramos 24. That was my track number in high school. Real quick sidebar, y'all. I was the worst track runner.
I was about to say,
In the-
I was just about to say,
Damn.
how'd you not bring that up? And now I know why, because you were the worst.
Yeah.
Listen, I fell. I didn't. Okay, first of all, I did not have a good coach, and so I would stutter step going over the hurdles. I was a hurdler, and every race I
well.
fell. I mean, every single race I fell. But you know what? I got up and I kept running, and the crowd would cheer for me. So
That's what it's
Yeah.
all about. It's
not about
at
how you
least
fall
didn't
down,
stay
it's about how you get up.
If you would have stayed
Yeah.
down,
You
then
know-
it would have been a problem.
You know what I was thinking? Have you seen Seinfeld? Like, I don't know if you're seeing
Yeah.
the Seinfeld, but there's an episode in Seinfeld where Kramer gets these ridiculous shoes, like these gym training shoes, and he gets like surgery done on his mouth, so he has like Novocaine, so he can't talk. So one of the guys thinks that he's mentally challenged. So everybody's like clapping for him and saying, "You do such a good job. You live on your own." And that's just exactly what I went to when you were like, everybody clapped when you fell.
exactly.
I know
Listen,
what
like.
you're talking about.
Listen, that's exactly me, because and then there's people like, especially like my teammates, when they in every race I fall, every race. Oh, hot mess. So they probably definitely thought something was wrong with me. Anyways,
just-
that's where 24 comes from.
Well, they were probably like, "Man, she'd make
But-
a great actress."
Well, it's just like when you watch Apollo. It's like you can't boo the kids or somebody that's singing a song about God. You got to clap for them, you know?
Right.
Yeah, like in Dave, where they do all the kindergartner kids do the play, but the play is just god awful and horrible. But you can't boo
Yeah,
the
you can't
kids;
boo
they're
'em.
doing a play. Yeah.
It's like smiling, like that Kermit the Frog smile, like.
Yeah. Ooh.
Lord Jesus. Yeah, that's pretty much the only social media though I'm on is Instagram. I hear about this TikTok, but like,
Don't
I
do
go
it.
back. Listen,
You should do it. No, you should do it.
We're too old for TikTok.
No.
We're too old for TikTok. Do not do TikTok.
First of all, this is a young, beautiful woman that you're talking about here. Old is not in her dictionary, okay? You might be old, sir.
I'm old.
Sassy Shelly, she's not.
So
what was that?
I was just gonna say Trav spitting that hot fire.
I'm
That's
just
all.
saying.
He is.
You know,
Hey, listen,
we don't throw
I will
the
take
O word
compliments.
around women.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
At least not that
There
O
you-
word.
Hey, my bad, Travie. My bad.
Yeah.
Travi.
You apologize.
Chill.
Chill.
I won't let you insult our guests that come on this podcast. Damn it! I've spoken.
He just gave her another shout
Especially
out.
when we wrapping this thing up too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? we can't let her leave the podcast like this. We got to do it right.
Okay.
Listen.
So, let's sit. We need you to sing out.
Sing out. What do I sing?
Sing yourself out. Anything.
Yeah, sing "Let It Go" or
Sing "I Want It That Way" by the
Who said
Backstreet
it?
Boys. Or no, better yet, "Bye
Wait,
Bye Bye" by NSYNC.
Wait, I have a really good one, but I have to get the proper like strategy here. Do I sing and then I click off, or do I sing it and then the go?
Yo, you can mic drop us if you want.
yeah.
You could totally
Yeah,
mic
mic
drop
drop.
us.
Hit the mic drop. Hey, I double dog dare you.
I'm just like, did she
Okay.
hit the mic drop?
Mic drop.
So is that the thing? That's like the signature of your guys' podcast is to
Well,
It
I
is
mean,
this week. It is
Yeah,
this
it
week.
is this one. Yeah, it is this week.
We're trying it out.
got it. Okay, here we
Don't
go.
let us down.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds of my best sass pants on the earth of this planet.
Yes.
Oh snap!
Here we
This is
go.
the first leveling up with Benjamin Banks send off. So let's go.
Watch out. Watch out. I said a hip hop, the hip it to the hip hip hop, you don't stop. Rock it to the bang bang, boogie say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity beat.
Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video and get notified every time we upload a new one by subscribing and ticking the bell icon. You can also listen to the full episode by searching for Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks on your favorite podcast app. If you'd like to help support more great content like this, be sure to check us out on Patreon. We'll have the link posted in the description below. Thanks for listening, and see you on the next episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.